for May 1st. Dr. Weeks, would you mind leading us in prayer?
Today, as you give to us, we thank you so much for the opportunity to lead, opportunity to serve, for the opportunity to be servant leaders. Father, I'm thankful for a place to live and work on Dickson County. And we're thankful for the jobs and responsibilities you've given us to serve this community in the best way possible. I ask that you continue to bless all the leaders, blessing over these commissioners, blessing over our mayor and his staff, blessing over all the department heads that are working each day to give us a place to live that's positive, place to live that is a good place to live and taken care of well. Father, we ask a blessing on those that are not as fortunate as we are this evening, those that are hurting, those that are sick, those that lost loved ones. Father, tonight again, we just ask a blessing on the decisions that are made and that they be made in accordance with your will. Since your great name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Everyone rise for pledge.
Yes, sir. Mr. Simpkins, Mr. Ledger, Mr. McElwain, Mr. Beatty, Mr. Dawson, Ms. Spicer, Mr. Buckner, Mr. Britt, Mr. Petty, Mr. Williams, Mr. Grove, Ms. Gray.
Mr. Williams is out traveling the world. You keep up with him on Facebook. I actually saw him in church. He wasn't getting baptized, but somebody's getting baptized with him, so it's almost as good. So we'll wish him the best. First order of business is approval of minutes, April 3rd, 2023 work session. Have a motion by Commissioner Petty, second by Commissioner Buckner. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by stating aye. Opposed? Thank you. Committee reports. Any committees report? Has our doggy committee met yet? Have y'all?
More I'm going to get on top of that.
I'm talking about the new dog committee, not the old dog committee.
How many dogs we got running around?
Well, your committee took care of the effect. There's a new committee taking care of the cause, and that was Commissioner Dawson, Commissioner Gray.
Are we a committee, or I thought we were liaisons?
You know, I'll get you a T-shirt that says both. Which do you want?
Liaison.
Liaison. Okay. Go by goalpost tomorrow. They'll be waiting on you. Commissioner Payne, did you have something you want to? Okay. Thank you. I appreciate your enthusiasm though. Next item of business is appointments. The name escapes me and it's not on my agenda. Ms. Martin with her outdoor voice will be able to hear. Jay Kessler, can you tell us a little bit about him? I forgot. It's not in here.
He is going to fill the term that Mr. Green is not going to complete for the 2-year term on the equalization board. Mr. Kessler is from the north end of the county, originally from Florida, but has connections to Dickson County and very eager, and he's experienced. Actually worked in the assessor's office in the county that he grew up in.
Wow, that's amazing. That's almost as good as a Titan draft choice right there. Do I have a motion to approval? Motion by Commissioner Simpkins, second by Commissioner McElwain. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by stating aye. Opposed? Thank you. New business amendments, all funds except school. Mr. Don Hall.
On the amendments that I have for you, I sent to you Friday. There was only 4 funds that were affected this time. General Fund, Landfill, Highway, and Capital Projects Fund 171. Basically, all we have here are payroll adjustments mainly. For the Highway Fund, that's basically all it is for each of the categories in that fund. Some adjustments for payroll and benefits. Capital Projects Fund, we had an amendment for a couple of revenue items and some brush trucks. And landfill, same thing, some payroll adjustments. And then for the general fund, we had several adjustments, pretty good amounts for some revenue items such as business tax, building permits, investment interest, state prisoner board, and in lieu of fees for the register, county clerk, and trustee fees. There's pretty good adjustments there, but also several adjustments to payroll and benefits also in that fund. I don't know if you've had time to look over those. I haven't gotten any emails or calls today, but you only did get these on Friday. So I would like to keep the other funds open. If you approve these tonight for 2 weeks from now, because I may get a chance to go through. We've been working on the budgets pretty hard. So I did get a chance to go through these, but I didn't get to kind of go through the other funds that I didn't send you the other day. So I'd like to keep those open too, if you approve these tonight.
Any questions from Mr.
Do you have any questions, Jeff?
Open the floor for motion, move these on a regular session. Motion by Commissioner Buckner, second by Commissioner McElwain. Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by stating aye. Opposed? Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you.
Mr. Hall. Next, the quarterly financial report, all school funds, Board of Education representative, the top dog himself, Dr. Weeks.
Good evening again, Commissioners. Thank you for your time today. Did email the quarterly reports to you. Proud to report that at this point in time, we have received 85% of our revenues in. And so that's very positive as we're at the 3/4 mark. And I would say that our expenditures are only at 65% of our anticipated or our budgeted revenues. And so we're very positive at that. We have $61 million in revenues, $51 million in expenditures. So if you'll recall, when we were discussing budget, our revenues at this point in time are far exceeding those expenditures. And so again, very pleased with that. $11.1 million in property tax, $13.2 million in sales tax. And so you have our documents. If you do have specific questions, I'll be glad to answer any specific questions you might have.
Any question of Dr. Weeks? Open the floor for motion. Motion by Commissioner Brett, second by Commissioner Ledger. Hearing no other questions, to move this on to regular session, all in favor, vote by stating aye. Opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Weeks. Item number 3, request for unclaimed property from the state. Ms. Greer.
For you new commissioners, our all of our departments, we can request our unclaimed properties where we've written checks and all that in the community and they haven't been cashed. So you can request those properties back from the Secretary of State, the State Treasury Department, not the Secretary of State. I'm in the Election Commission. But anyway, you have to pass a resolution by your county. Mayor Ryle will sign the form, whatever
Dr.
you
Ryle.
call him. He likes that. And to date, we have received $381,000 back. And how that works is like, let's just say one of them is to Don Hall. He doesn't live in our county, but let's say he does. And he never does use the money, but it's always there with his name. But Ms. Pendergrass can use what the monies make to invest, and she adds that to other monies that she has to get a better rate because she has a higher investment amount. So I do that every year, and we have to pass this resolution.
Thank you. Any questions for Ms. Greer? Or I'm sorry, Dr. Greer.
Check my name on my shoe call.
I think with Mr. Grove's enthusiasm, I'll take that as a motion. Have a second by Commissioner McElwain. Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by stating aye. Opposed? Thank you. Item number 4, fiscal year 2023-24 litter grant that comes through the Sheriff's Department. I don't know why my name's on it. It should be Sheriff or Don Hall. It's 100% grant.
Yes, yes.
All right. Thank you. I think that's what we most want to hear. Open floor for motion. Motion by Commissioner Gray, second by Commissioner Petty. Any questions for either one of those young men? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by stating aye. Opposed? Thank you. Item number 5, speed limit change to West Grab Creek. Commissioner Buckner, I guess you would like the sheriff and the highway supervisor take a look at that.
They will. It's from Lena Road to the interstate on West Grab Creek. It's been some requests from people out there that there's a speed limit sign posted out there at 35, but my understanding is it's not worth the metal it's printed on. then there was a resolution to change it to 35. So if we could get that done, appreciate it.
There's a motion by Commissioner Buckner and I have a second. Second by Commissioner Gray. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of vote by stating aye. Opposed? Thank you. Item number 6, speed limit change to East Side Road. Commissioner Gray, I assume you would like for the Sheriff's Department, how I would look at that. Would you like to add anything to it?
No, same as what Mr. Buckner said, that the metal signs aren't worth anything. But before I look at having the speed limit resolution brought up, I would like him to go ahead and do a study on both that road and the next one on the agenda for East Side Road, which I'm speaking to the sheriff about that.
So we can combine those together. You want the same thing for Baker's work and Old East Side?
Yes.
No, or East Side.
Yes, sir.
Okay. If that's no objection, we're combining items 6 and 7 together. Hearing no objection, that's a motion by Commissioner Gray. Do I have a second? Second by Commissioner Beatty. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by stating aye. Opposed? Thank you. Item number 8, adopt traffic citation fee. Mr. Reagan.
The Sheriff's Department is in the process of converting, excuse me, the way that it issues citations. Right now, they're in paper form, and they're going to convert over to electronic citations when they pull someone over or write a citation. There is a statute that allows for there to be a fee that can be added on all citations that come through the General Sessions Court. That's $5 per citation that can be charged for a period of 5 years. And after that, it goes away in order to defray the cost associated with purchasing the equipment. $4 of the fee goes to the agency. So in this case, the Sheriff's Department, but it also would apply to other agencies like THP or anyone else that is providing electronic citations during this 5-year window. $1, the other remaining $1 goes to the clerk's office for the handling of that. And so we're asking that you pass this along to the regular session to adopt and implement this fee for a period of 5 years.
Open the floor for a motion. Motion by Commissioner Dawson, second by Commissioner McElwain. Any questions or discussion for Mr. Reagan? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by stating aye. Opposed? Thank you. Item number 9 is R3 zoning moratorium. I approached the Planning Commission at their last meeting. It would have been the first or second Thursday, whenever it is, of April. We had some discussions. I think I may have talked to y'all about this, but what we're asking is a moratorium on R3 rezoning until the Planning Commission and our Mr. Darnell and our planner from GNRC has the opportunity to review it. Again, I think I carried you back to 2019 when we had the issue with R2 zoning. Our goal was to work on R3 directly after, but we had that whole COVID thing that got in the way and it just fell through the cracks. So what we've done now, and it's been passed by the Planning and Zoning Commission, but we need it passed by y'all to give permission to put a moratorium on it. I think the date was November 30th. That gave us ample time, but if the study's redone before November 30th, they'll be brought back before Planning and Zoning and this board to get it reviewed. Open floor for any questions or discussion. Open door for a motion. Motion by Commissioner Gray, second by Commissioner Petty. Just
What's the difference between 2 and 3?
Refresh me.
you want to give the easy answer? Give the short one. The long one
just give
can
us
take the
the
rest of
short
the
one.
night.
It's the size of the lots. 3 have smaller size lots. You'll have to have water and sewer.
That's one of those things like sewer would kind of effect on that, wouldn't it?
Yes, sure does. Does on both of them, yes. Well, it then has to do with where you're gonna park it.
Thank
You've got smaller lots, your house.
The issue that came up in R2 was on the one that was going to be built on Rock Church Road. The R2, there was no on-street parking. They had single driveways. So the problem is people park in their yard, they park in the street. So this is something we're going to try to get ahead of before we have a real issue with it. So that was one of the bigger portions. They were also at that one, they're going to put in their own septic system But that was somewhat in question on something as huge as they were trying to do on that R2. So there's so many parallels with this. We just want to take time to make sure we get R3 right before we move it back out there. I do have a motion, a second. Any other questions?
I do.
Sure.
On that acre and a half. I mean, is that still, you can get that perk and still have septic systems on it, or is it just, that's the only way, but it's gotta be sewer? So I understood that right?
I don't know.
There is some art to it's possible, it's not really likely, don't have room for primary and secondary system. So you pretty much are gonna have that sewer.
On the acre and a half.
No. Acre and a half, so it'll be all set. You go to R2 or R3, you're looking at a third to half acre lots, they're gonna pretty much.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for your question.
I got a question, and it's probably not gonna do with this, but
It's just because it just happened to me. It's happened across the street from me. Do we have a mother-in-law policy in the county? Hey, they built a great big house right against another house, right across my neighborhood. It's in the city. And I was like, how did that happen? That's not zoned for that. And we didn't have a mother-in-law policy. And they was like, as long as they run off their electricity and sewer, they ain't nothing we can do about it.
Size of the acreage and the road frontage, but you can't have a second structure depending on.
I mean, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, that kind of shocked me. So now we're having to change it. Yeah, it's two separate structures. And I was like, man, that's awful. And they was like, well, y'all ain't got no policy against it in the city, against mother-in-law. So they build what they want, so long as they don't get another electric and another water, correct?
Here at the time, you have to have septic system. You have to meet the setbacks between.
Thank you.
So,
Appreciate your questions. Any other questions on this motion? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by stating aye. Opposed, thank you. Item number 10 is transfer of property at the Industrial Development Board. If you're familiar with Sanker Road, the Canterbury site, then the Dickson Electric substation, right past that, there's 18 acres that Dickson County owns. We have an industry that's looking at purchasing that. It's 18 acres. It needs some work. So it's being, the proposed price is $20,000 an acre, which the buyers accepted in theory, because we can't sell property. But what we're like to do is transfer this to the Industrial Development Board so they can sell it to the industry. So we have new industry out inside the industrial park. So it's really a housekeeping measure. Open the floor for a motion. Motion by Commissioner Beatty, second by Commissioner Ledger. And if you look on the website, it's called the East Site on there. It's kind of crossed from the what's the wood guy up there on the hill? His old buddy, Mike Lewis. Yes, the Lewis property. It's right across from that big hill on it. They got to smooth it out. We have a proper motion second. Any question or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, vote by stating aye. Opposed, thank you. Item number 11, express support for Water Authority Dickson County facility. Many of you, I think almost all of y'all were at the meeting back in April where you heard the issues that we're having with sewer in Dickson County. It's also an issue in Hickman County and Wisdom County where the Water Authority of Dickson County serves. There's been an effort by the Water Authority to build a new wastewater plant on Lick Creek in Hickman County to serve Hickman County and the southern portion of Dickson County and parts of Williamson. The application has been made to TDEC, which right around the time of that meeting, they denied the application, but there is you get an opportunity to have it reheard, and that's going to happen in the May. So what we're asking, because of what it's going to do to growth of homes and industry in Dickson County, we're going to soon near a point where we don't have enough sewer taps to take care of the kind of growth we need. So what we're preparing, having Mr. Reagan prepare in y'all's direction, is a resolution in support of the Water Authority getting this approval to build a wastewater plant at Lick Creek in Hickman County. Open floor for motion or any discussion. A motion by Commissioner Petty, second by Commissioner Buckner. Any discussion or question? Be glad to answer it.
I got an email the other day and I sent one to the two addresses that they had. The one to the state bounced. And I called over to the water department and said, it's bouncing back. And we need to correct. I think we're copying the water authority on it. Maybe the one I had to the state, water quality, whatever, it's bounced because I've sent it 2 or 3 times. So.
Mr. Reagan is also assisting them from a legal standpoint with the water authority. So we'll let him carry that to them. Thank you for pointing that out. Commissioner Grove.
What was the reason for denying it? Is pressure from local people or was there a reason for environmental reason?
Well, it was, it's out there to be read, but I mean, just being frank about it, it was technically correct. It was the most economical way to do it. It was pure politics. You had the NIMBY folks out there. You had political opportunists. They ran their campaigns to get elected in 2022 by fighting the man. And then you had the what I won't call them carpetbaggers because that's not very polite, but I call them door slammers, people that live in Bellmead that bought property out there that got what they want, and they're ready to close the door behind people in the community that can help grow Hickman County and help us on the southern end of our county. As we all know, the growth, everything that Hickman County has done by planning the east area as a growth area, a city of its own, from Hickman County, getting Highway 46 expanded in Dickson County from Interstate 40 down to Highway 100. All the other work they've done, this has been their goal to get this done, but there's a vocal minority out there that have a different interest about growth. I think all of y'all know the story. The short story is there would be no East Hickman High School if it wasn't for Dickson County. They could not get our septic system to work down there. Dickson County, the state of Tennessee paid the water authority to run a sewer line. So all the sewer in East Hickman right now is going in Jones Creek. So I understand everyone will keep their creeks pristine, but Jones Creek and Dickson County is taken away from Hickman County. It's probably time for them to, after 17 years, to be part of getting the game and be part of the team.
All right, so there's no environmental reason why, it's just politics.
Yeah, and they, again, you can read it. They get some double talk mumbo jumbo. We could probably have somebody, one of the engineers or Michael Adams of the Water Authority better explain it, but that's the high level deal. And I think it was $60 million cheaper to go to Lick Creek versus carrying to the Cumberland River. So if that has to be done, what you can imagine what sewer rates are going to be.
Right.
You cannot commingle water money and sewer money together. So to pay for that, we'll probably all get a porta potty in our yard and be a lot cheaper.
Right. Yeah, I'm like you though. We're taking their waste now in Jones Creek and they don't seem to mind that. I think we need a hardline stance at Dickson County.
Well, they got very vocal, save Lick Creek. You see the signs,
Right.
It's hip, it's cool, it's fun, but we've got practical things we have to do to make these communities better. And I'm the Dickson County mayor, but I'm about to sell it to Hickman County mayor. For years, they've been behind the 8 ball and can't quite make it work down there. This is their opportunity to get real growth. They want good jobs, they want good homes, they want retail, but they fill up our parking lot at Hickman County. Thank you, at Walmart. If there's a camera, they're watching, and that helps pay for education, Dr. Weeks' budget. But we all understand how economics work. It's just not one pie. The pie grows bigger. They get more out if they grow. There's 15,000 people leave Dickson County every day to go somewhere to work. There's 7,500 people come in every day. Like folks that go to Nashville every day, they can't afford to live in Nashville. They still live here and commute. The same deal for people working at some of our factories. They have to live in Hickman, Houston, or Humphreys to come here. We need good housing and good schools there to help supply employees for our industrial park. The economy helps spin each other around. So it's short-sighted, it's silly when something makes complete sense, but maybe I need to get back down there. I was on a roll again. Okay, I'll stop there. Yes, but I think we need to do it. If it's a tie vote tonight, 6-6 on the 7th vote, we do have proper motion to second. Any questions? No, we've already got one of those, so, but we'll double up if you want to. Hearing no other questions, all in favor, vote by saying aye. Opposed, thank you. Other business from commissioners.
meeting November the 25th on that, are we going to be there? I mean, or is we gonna show any kind of,
If you would like, I'm going to get you some details on that, but the most important thing to do is to make the difference on that is sending the emails, the cards and all that with the information. Mr. Reagan can provide that for you. And you need to get your neighbors to do it. Because if we had an industry come in now that was a big wastewater user, we'd have to send them away. And we're going to get to the point here very quickly that a moderate wastewater deal is. And then we're going to get to another point where we can't even put in homes because of this. So it's time to act on that. So storm the Bastille, carry torches and pitchforks. Which one?
Yes.
25th, Centerville High School.
Central or East Texas?
It's
Yeah.
Centerville. It's Centerville.
We'll firm it up and get that out to you. Mr. Reagan said it.
Hey, I got a phone call at 9:30 at night. And
I didn't hear the last part. You turn.
if sheriff will provide me with a bulletproof vest, I'll go.
Well, you just need a bulletproof vest for this issue, or are there some others you might need one for? Sure.
And I hate to even bring this up, but
And don't.
the money that has been raised for the future ag pavilion, what are we, how are we ever gonna get this done? Because I've heard there's been a request for some of that money to be dispersed. And I'm concerned about that because I don't think that's what has been advertised when that money was raised with the farm to tables and so.
What are you asking me? Because we don't have that money. You want me to hurry and build an ag pavilion? Is that?
Well, that's what I've been trying to get you to do, but
Well, as much money as this body wants to spend, I've set aside $1 million. But if you want to see any money that this body wants to spend, I'll be glad to offer it. One of the issues is on several lots you brought to our attention, they're nice lots. The issue is accessibility and infrastructure. I mean, some of them are flat, but if we have to build a road and bring in water, sewer, electricity, then the $1 million disappears quickly. So again, I open it up to all 12 of you and Mr. Williams and any of y'all out there. If you can find me about 20 acres for a reasonable price that we don't have to do a lot of dirt work on, or an unreasonable price, you know, whatever this body decides. So
you missed my point.
I don't understand your point.
The money that's been raised for the farm to table all these years, it's been a request that some of that to be distributed to the schools.
No, I understand that, but I think I answered the first time.
Well,
That's not our
Is
money.
there okay, so it's not a problem with that. Okay, that's what I wanted to know because.
I think the UT Chamber of Commerce and the Ag Committee have raised that. Yeah, so that's what I'm misunderstanding. It's not county government funds.
Always heard it had been raised for that reason for the ag building, so it's.
I think a lot of it's just sites, you know, we never have come up with a suitable site that everybody would agree on. And that's why the money's still there. Yes, has been a request from
Yeah,
FFA
yeah.
to do some
So that's
things
not a
with
problem
it.
with I mean, that's what I was concerned about, that it was okay for them to do that. I mean, I know.
And I don't know whether, who has the authority.
Yeah,
No, it's in the chamber. Part of
Yeah.
it's on the chamber ag, you know, we have the county ag and we have chamber. Ag. It's on the chamber side
right.
that control.
Okay.
What I understand.
Yeah, if you have any question on it, Jenny Wagner's the president of the chamber, give her a
Well, I'll
call.
talk to Jacob about it. And I mean, you know, I'm sure that like everybody else are tired of waiting, so. Okay, I just feel like it's slipping through our fingers.
No. Everybody's pulling for you.
Hmm.
Everybody's pulling for you.
I feel it.
Any other business?
Mr. Chairman, I just want to mention that on May 13th, in White Bluff, they're having their first spring fling at the Bibb Center. And that starts at 11 o'clock, I believe. And then the same day, May 13th, Burns Church of Christ is having a community family day at 4 o'clock with free barbecue and kids games, live bluegrass music.
Cool. And
That's
what
good.
day is that one on?
Same day, May 13th. Go to the Bibb Center first, then go to the Burns Church.
Is Clay Lake still having their fundraiser on May the 6th at 10 o'clock in the morning? I read that, but that's right at the same time that the Old Timers Day Parade kicks off too. So I'll send a check. My grandson likes looking at the fire truck, so we're gonna hang out with them. Any other business? Yes, Commissioner Beatty.
Don't need to be saying to, so
No, in fact,
Thursday's it.
it looks like two of y'all were probably in high school together that you were probably a senior and Mr. Brett was a sophomore from looks of these ages. Would that be right? Happy birthday to both of you and thank you for not making us sing. May 5th for Mr. Beatty, May 10th for Commissioner Brett. Then Mr. Petty will be up next the day after the 4th of July, so we get a little break there. But we'll have to sing to you in June because the work session for July is the 4th Monday in June. Thank you. Okay, there will be a budget committee and budget advisor committee on May 15th, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. prior to the county commission meeting here. Any other announcements? Get the last one here. The next work session meeting will be on Monday, June 5th, 2023 at 7 p.m. in the Buford L. Booty Reed Jr. County Commission Chamber of the Dickson County Administration Building, 4 Court Square, Charlotte, Tennessee. Thank you.